Welcome to a very exciting Buzz episode of the Pub Brain Podcast. It's especially exciting if you are a fan of the New York Sirens. As you guys know, going into the regular season, there was one outstanding TBD left on the calendar after Montreal and Toronto announced their respective neutral site games in Bell Centre and Scotiabank were confirmed to be happening for a third time in a row. Now, and that is on April the 4th. Now, it's the only TBD left. April 4th, Sirens hosting, I believe it's Seattle. Yes, Seattle at New York. April 4th, that was the only TBD left on the calendar. We can now confirm where that TBD is going to be. Now, on April the 4th, 2026, the New York Sirens will host the Seattle Torrent at Madison Square Garden. Oh my god! Oh! Yes! Oh my god! Yeah. Oh my god! Yeah. Yes! Oh my god! Already, I'm gonna kill over. Lie down. Oh my god! Oh my, yes! Oh my god! Yes! Oh my god! Yeah. Oh my god, yeah. Two seconds, give me 2 seconds, I'll let you go recuperate. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Pluto's literally killed over. I can't. Whoa, God. Right. Okay. This is brilliant. Obviously not for our Islander supporters, Please pass Pluto, so thank God we've not brought him up. Well, don't think we told him yet, have we? Nope. I'll let you two do that. Yes! In fact, is Pluto still visible? Just about. Okay. Oh my god! Wow. Oh my god. This is brilliant! Madison Square Garden is one of the most iconic arenas in all of North America, along with TD Garden in Boston. You have no idea how hard it is to try and book an event in Madison Square Garden. It is sought after. It's a hot ticket. Okay? It is a hot ticket. Alright? So, the fact, right, the Professional Women's Hockey League is going to play a game at one of the biggest arenas in North America. This is a steal. This is a huge, huge steal. And I am absolutely, regardless of my personal feelings towards the New York Rangers, we should explain, this is an Olympic jersey he's wearing. Yes! Yes, I know some people do think it looks a bit like New York Rangers, given the style they've gone with, but no, this is definitely a Team USA jersey. You'll be seeing this in Milano Cortina in a few weeks' time. Yeah. Yeah. I like this! Sod off. Yeah. Yeah, I mean... Right. If you were to go back to 3 years ago, when this league was formed, if you were to say to me that we're going to have a game in Madison Square Garden, I would not believe it. No. I would be like, oh, fuck off. No chance. No chance. Especially how New York... Are you alright down there, love? No. No, I need counselling. Anyone would think you needed, looking like that. Anybody would think you would need resuscitation. We need to get the RSPCA out. You did first aid, yeah, but that was 8 years ago. So you would need to be retrained. I would need to be retrained. You're supposed to get retrained every sort of 3 years, and I only did it as part of Prince's Trust. That was 8 years ago. So, yeah. So but it's just this is incredible, and especially how New York has been a troublesome market. Well, they haven't really managed to lit the attendance on fire, and I think the problem was trying to find where New York could go. Because let's face it, can someone remind me? Oh, no. So in season 1, they New York split their games between the New York Islanders Arena in in Belmont and the Bridgeport Islanders Arena in Connecticut. Now, I don't think that was a good idea, especially how the numbers in Connecticut are just disgraceful. They are absolutely disgraceful. And I remember when we had news about New York decides going to New Jersey, I did do an episode on that, and I talked about how I think it's easily giving up on New York. I looked at those numbers from season 1, and the ones in Connecticut, I had to literally just have to take a massive deep breath, because I was trying to hide the fury I had at these numbers, because they were just a complete disgrace. And, okay, they are still struggling to get decent numbers in New Jersey, but they are better in New Jersey than they were actually in Long Island. Let's just put it like that. I think the Sirens are better in New Jersey than they were actually being in actual New York. Yeah. So, I have no problem with the Sirens being called New York Sirens and playing in New Jersey. I've got no problem with that, because technically it is still in the New York borough. Yeah. So let's look at that. Yeah. Just like how Buffalo technically is still in the New York borough. Yeah. So they are in that New York area. So I've got no problem with that. Yeah. So, but could we look at this game, right? Are we playing on that game that day? April the 4th. Yeah. I can look. Do you want to make your point first, and I can look it up? Okay, right. Could we look at this game as a possibility to prove to people that there is a fan base in New York? Yeah. Could we do that? I think we could. I definitely think this could be an opportunity to say to people, right, if you're doubting the Sirens fan base, well, look at this, because who's gonna want to miss out on this? This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Yeah. Who's gonna miss out on a game at the Garden? So I feel this is gonna be a huge game for the league, because this could basically prove to people, look, there is interest for the PWHL New York. It's just you just need to find a way to market it. Well, I've been saying we need to look at marketing and we need to look at promotion. I have said if I was given a job with the league, I would want it to be marketing and promotion, because for me, that I think is the big thing we need to work on right now. The product is great. You've got your RS product great. You've got a great way of street broadcasting as well. But your promotion, I think, needs work. Because the league has done some great ad campaigns, but so far, how many of those are being seen outside the PWHL? Well, the Play It Big campaign we've seen this season, I could definitely see those being put on the Arndale. Yeah. So if you were to go to the Arndale, you could easily put those on the billboards. Yeah. You could. Yeah, you could. You could easily put them there. Yeah. So, in fact, if this league had been around during the noughties, then they would be on billboards, because billboards in the noughties were all were fashionable. even on bus stops, you'd have billboards. If you go on a train station, if you're at a big shopping center, billboards were all the rage in the 2000s. And then since the 2010s, when new technologies and new ways of promotions were made available, that's kind of sort of been less of a thing. Kind of more sort of like the mid 2010s. That's kind of when it kind of dropped off. Yeah. But no, so I feel like marketing promotion needs to be the thing the PWHL works on, and they can get this done right. Then, yeah. But no, I just think it's going to be a huge game, not just for the Sirens, but for the league. Because this is our opportunity to say to anybody who thinks that the league is not working in New York, this is the opportunity to go, well, look, they packed out Madison Square Garden. Yeah. Oh, we need a sellout. Yeah. We need a sellout. Yeah. If they can sell out Madison Square Garden, that, I think you're right, Plur, that will just show people, look, New York has a fan base. So, quit the jokes. Yeah. Quit making the stabs. Okay? The jabs. Quit it. Yeah. Right, so I will do as Plur just asked me to look at, are we playing on that day. We do know we are playing on the day of the TD Garden game in Boston, but because of the time differences, it works in our favour. Yeah, which means we can do what is going to be our Pride night, and then go to the TD game. Yeah, so let's just look it up now. Yeah, so let's bring our schedule up and see if we are playing anybody on that day. And if we are, how does it work in terms of the time zones? Are the Rangers playing on that day as well? They are. I'll look that up in a minute. Let me do us first. Yeah. It's a serious situation with what we've got with Boston. Yeah. The NHL plays first, and then we take over. Yeah. Right. Okay. We are hosting Vancouver at 2 p.m. Eastern. So hold on. What time's this game in New York? Please be late. Please be later. Please be later. Mm. 8 p.m. Eastern. Yes! So what time's that? 1 a.m. We can watch! We can watch it! We can watch it! Yes! We can watch it! Right. So it's going to be just like it will be for the TD Garden game. We can watch our game first. And then as soon as our game's over, we can then go and watch this other game. So yeah, so come on! Yeah, because the Rangers are indeed playing on that day. I'm going to look up now for any Rangers fans watching. Can I make an appeal? Yeah. If there are any New York Rangers fans watching, please buy tickets to this game. Please buy tickets. Okay, yeah, we want to pack the garden. Yeah, we want to show people that New York is working. So if you are a New York Rangers fan or a New York Rangers season ticket holder, then please buy tickets for this game. We want a packed crowd. Yeah, we want a very packed crowd. Plus, also, right, the Seattle and New York rivalry has become quite a thing. It has. They've had 2 games so far, one in Seattle, one at the Torrent in Dallas, and they have been very excited so far. I think that this is an unlikely rivalry format in the PWHL. Oh, I'm hosting Nashville on that day. Are we Sharky? Yeah, I'm hosting Nashville on that day at 3 a.m. Are we playing on that day? don't know. I can look it up. Um, Boston at Tampa. York at the Islanders at Carolina. Yes, you two are hosting Toronto. Kings are hosting Toronto at midnight on that day. Um, the only one Pack East that's got the night off is Hatter with Philadelphia. They're not playing on that day. The only one that's not got a game on. Oh yeah, the Rangers are hosting the let me find it. Yeah, so the Rangers are hosting the Detroit Red Wings that day. That's going to be at 5:30 p.m. UK time. So that's what, about 12:30 in the afternoon Eastern. Yeah. Okay. So actually that gives them plenty of time to do the turnover and get people in. That's really brilliant. This is so exciting. I am so excited for this. I mean, guys, we're gonna have PHL hockey in Madison Square Garden. It's just, you don't even need to have watched hockey or watched the Rangers to know how big of a deal Madison Square Garden is. In fact, wasn't there an episode of Will and Grace filmed at Madison Square Garden? Yes. I can't remember what season it is, but I think I can remember the details. Go on. Yeah. So it was Will and Leo. So it must be either season 6 or season 7. Must have been season. Yeah. Yeah, like that. Yeah. So Will and Leo go to this hockey game, and because Will just behaves completely. Will basically does what you should not do at a hockey game. He's basically clueless. I remember that very well. Should we try to look it up? Look it up, yeah. I need to. It was only a few scenes, but the fact it's in MSG, well, it's iconic. You know what it is. Yeah. Mm. Oh my god, this is gonna bug me now because I've watched every episode. Yeah. So yeah, because I remember Will behaves bizarrely. Yeah. He's like, cause he's got no clue what hockey is. He goes no. Even I think he even does go, let's go strangers, and Leo has to go, it's Rangers. Yeah. So yeah. So Will Bates makes a clown of himself, but I can't remember what the episode is. Now I can't remember what the episode is, which one it is. I know it's in one of the latter seasons because it involved Leo, Grace's husband at the time, taking Will to a hockey game, and Will just completely, just does everything that you should not do at a hockey game. He just So yeah, No, so I can't remember. Oh, it's going to bug me now. We can look it up when we're not recording an episode. Yes, we'll do that then, yeah, because that's going to bug me, but yeah. It's even... Was it one episode where... Oh, no, I can't remember now. Typing now. No, we were looking up afterwards. Look at all... Yeah. But there was an episode... But there was an episode of Will and Grace where Leo takes Will to a hockey game and Will just makes a complete fool of himself. It wasn't a main central plot, no. But I think it was in relation to the plot, yeah. And Will just makes complete fool. I remember him doing that, let's go strangers. And then Leo has to go, it's Rangers. Yeah. Anyway, shall we get back on topic and read some of the press release from the Sirens? Yeah, so let's go. So the New York Sirens will host a home game at the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden, on Saturday, April the 4th at 8 p.m. Eastern against the Seattle Torrent. Their new rivals. Shh. You've just christened that. We're dead now. We're dead. You've just done that. Oh god, we're dead. Come on! It's obvious! They're gonna be rivals. Where's Roseburg, you guys? Okay, Madison Square Garden has a storied women's sports history. On April the 4th, the New York Sirens will add their own chapter at the world's most famous arena as fans get the chance to attend professional women's hockey at the Garden for the first time, said General Manager Pascal Das. Playing at the Garden is an honour, and sharing it with our dedicated fans will make it even more special. New York doesn't just watch New York doesn't just watch moments, it lives with them. This is one of those nights meant to be experienced together in the building as part of the history of our team, our league, and everyone who helps bring it to life. The New York Sirens match against the Seattle Torrent will be the PWHL's first game at Madison Square Garden, marking the Sirens' arrival at the epicenter of New York City sports and opening the doors for fans across the metro area to be part of a historic moment. On February 28, 2021, Madison Square Garden hosted its first professional women's hockey game as the Professional Women's Hockey Players Association, so the PWHL, hosted a Dream Gap Tour stop featuring Team Minnesota against Team New Hampshire. The game was broadcast live across the United States and Canada, though it was played without fans in attendance, obviously due to COVID-19 pandemic. Yeah. Well, good on them to still be able to play the game. Yeah, good on them to still be able to do that. Because really, I wouldn't have suggested playing any women's hockey games during the COVID, because you can't get the fans, and we need the fans, yeah. So good on them for doing that stuff, yeah. Okay, back. Madison Square Garden has a rich legacy of showcasing world-class women's athletes, from the historic all-female boxing event featuring Casey Taylor and Amanda Serrano to Billie Jean King, and Serena Williams and Nadia Comaneci, said Joel Fisher, Executive Vice President of MSG Marquee Events and Operations. We are excited to partner with the Professional Women's Hockey League and welcome the New York Sirens to the world's most famous arena for what promises to be an electrifying matchup against the Seattle Torrent on April 4th. Madison Square Garden has long been a stage for record-setting moments in women's sports. In 1975, the venue hosted the first women's college basketball game ever played at Madison Square Garden, when Queens College faced Immaculata before a crowd of nearly 12,000 fans, signaling early and undeniable demand for women's sports on a premier stage. In boxing, the Garden made history when the sold-out 2022 bout between Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano became the first women's boxing match to ever headline Madison Square Garden. Widely billed as the biggest women's fight of all time, the arena's legacy also includes landmark women's tennis events featuring trailblazers like, of course, Billie Jean King, whose impact on women's sports continues today as a member of the PHL's advisory board. The Sirens and Torrent's April 4th match up will mark their third and final meeting of the 2025-26 season. The teams have evenly split the season series, with Seattle claiming a 2-1 win in the first meeting after Torrent captain Harry Knight and former Sirens forward Alex Carpenter scored in the final 2 minutes of regulation. And then most recently, the Sirens earned a 4-3 victory in the PHL Tabor Tour game in Dallas, led by a standout performance from New York City native Casey O'Brien, who recorded a hat-trick. Tickets for the New York Sirens' historic game at Madison Square Garden will be released through a series of on-sale opportunities. Pre-sale access begins today, so that's January the 8th. For season ticket members, followed by a pre-sale for fans subscribed to the Sirens newsletter, starting on Monday, January the 12th, and tickets will then go on sale to the general public on Tuesday, January the 13th at 10 a.m. Eastern, and are available, obviously, by the PHL's official ticket partners. So there you go. What an incredible moment for women's hockey as a whole. Yeah. I mean, just incredible. We are literally blown away. We are speechless. We can't believe this. I mean, this is incredible. This is an historic moment for the women's game. Okay. And like Pluto has been saying, this is a huge opportunity for the New York Sirens to basically say to people, we've got a fan base. We've got a fan base. Because I know this, we talked about it a lot during the first 2 seasons, how the Sirens attendance is something that maybe in the future needs to be a concern. But we're not really focusing on that too much this season because we want to just focus on the actual game as a whole, because that obviously is our... obviously our focus is on the games and how we can grow the league through whatever means necessary. You're focusing more on advocacy and less worrying about that. Yeah. Well, I did keep bringing it up a lot of seasons. I thought, well, I'm not going to bother this time because it's like, well, they're clearly settled. Yeah, they clearly are settled in New Jersey. So let's just leave them in. Yeah, let's just leave them in. They did quite well in those neutral site games in the inaugural season. Yeah, because I do remember the inaugural games, the neutral site in the inaugural season, they did play 2 neutral site games in New Jersey, and they did quite well. Yeah. So they can draw out crowds in New Jersey. It's just you gotta get the feeders out there. Yeah. So but, oh my god, this is just you've literally not recovered. You've not recovered. You've been like that the whole show. Are you blaming me? No. We're going to Madison Square Garden. The Professional Women's Hockey League is going to Madison Square Garden. Take that. Take that. This is just... It's incredible, guys. It's incredible. It's incredible. It's amazing. And this is just something. Right. If you were to, as I said, but if possible, if you were to go back to the run-up to inaugural season, so if you go back to... Should we go back to the first event? If you go back to the first event that we had as a trio, so the first ever PHL draft in Toronto, that was in September 2023. If you go back to that, and you were to say to me that the PHL is going to one day play a game in two of the most world-famous arenas in North America, I would be like, get the fuck out of it. Go away. No, don't. Why are you playing with my head like that? Why are you messing with my mind? No, just go away. Fuck off. No, we wouldn't believe you. And yet, here we are now. We are almost at the end of the first half of season 3, because obviously the Olympic break is kind of going to mark the end of the first half of season 3. Yeah. We are almost at the end of the first half of season 3, and we've got 2 games scheduled in the second half for one in TD Garden in Boston, between the Fleet and the Victoire, and then one in Madison Square Garden between the Sirens and the Torrent. That just shows 2 things. A, you're arguing letters, not... I will not make the mistake and mix letters and numbers, so I will not do a Miranda. That just shows, A, everyone watches women's sports, and B, it shows how far we have come as a league in a very, very, very short space of time. In a very short space of time. That just shows how far we've come. Because if the league didn't grow this quickly, I don't think we would have got these 2 games locked in. And I think they're, what, a week after the other? Yeah. So Madison Square Garden goes first, and then the following week it's TD Garden. And interesting how both these games are going to be at very critical points, because obviously when we hit April, it's literally like, start working out the scenarios for both playoffs and gold plan. Yeah. Well, I think maybe more towards end of March. So maybe when maybe there's like say 5 to 6 weeks to go. Yeah. So maybe like the last 2 weeks of March. That's when you start thinking, right, now who's going to be in contention for World Cup playoffs, and who's going to be fighting for the gold plan. Yeah. Because obviously with four teams not making it this year, you think there should be a better fight for the gold plan. Well, I'd like to hope that, but we will see. We will see how it unfolds. But yeah, so this is going to be exciting. Yeah. So seriously, as per say, if you are in the New York area, and especially if you are New York Rangers fans, okay. I know the Island's going to have my throat for this. Ceresal's going to have your throat for this for a start. Yeah, well, he had his chance. The Islanders, you had your chance and you blew it. You blew it. Alright? You had your chance, okay? So, you blew it. Alright? But if you are, in particular, if you are Rangers fans, then go and buy tickets for this game. We want to see Madison Square Garden sold out. Because this could be a huge, huge statement. Because the Sirens are seen as a franchise where they are really struggling to get the punters in. So, if they can somehow find a way to fill out Madison Square Garden, then that is a signal to say to people that, look, there is a fan base for PWHL New York. It's just, you need to market it right, and you'll get the punters in. Because the other 7 teams do well. Yeah. The other 7 teams, we haven't really had a problem with attendance. Even Seattle, Vancouver, just ride the season. They're doing well. They're doing well as a whole. Yeah. But it's New York are the problem. And that's kind of what's bringing the average attendance down a bit. Because it could be a lot higher than it could be. But we're not going to do all that. Yeah. So, this could be, as per say, this could be a huge, huge statement game coming up on April 4th. And isn't it also Easter weekend? It's Easter Saturday. Easter Saturday! It's Easter Saturday. Easter is April the 5th this year. Oh, it's April the 5th this year. So yeah. So if you've not got any plans for Easter Saturday, you know what to do now. Get yourself tickets to go to Madison Square Garden and see the Sirens and the Torrent. There you go. Well, that's very early for Easter this year. It is very early. But I'd rather have it be early April or late March than late April. That's how I feel for Easter. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Is there anything else we want to say? Or have we pretty much covered it all? I still feel like I need resuscitation. I'm just so thrilled. We're going to Madison Square Garden, guys. Oh my god. This is just... You have to think, where next? Oh, yeah, where next? Because if we, where next? Because we've had games in Little Caesars Arena. Mm-hmm. We've had games in Bell Centre. We've had games at Scotiabank. Where next? Where next can we go? United Centre? Oh, after Chicago's recent Take-Patrol performance, I'm not sure, but because isn't that the last of the original 6 arenas to do? I think it is. Yeah, because we've had Jewel at the Top at Montreal, Battle on Bay Street at Toronto. Boston's going to host this coast game on April 11th. Madison Square Garden is going to host on April the 4th. Little Caesars has hosted Take-Over games. It is! United Centre is the last original 6 barn from the AHL. The PHL's not gone in. So, maybe that could be next. That could be something for next season. Get us in. They would not go to a Frost game. Well, they've got no choice. Oh my god. It just has got you thinking, where can we go next? I mean, if we've managed to get... The fact that we managed to get games... I think this should be the closing thoughts. Yeah, this will be the closing thoughts. So, I'll say one more thing. I am so ecstatic for this, and I really hope the Pluto's pack it up. Pluto, go. Quick before you keel over. Before you head to the line. Okay. The fact that we are going to be playing, the fact that the professional women's hockey is going to play a game in Madison Square Garden, it does now ask the question, where's next? And I want to do an episode on that. Well, I'll do the research and you can do an episode on it, okay? It just makes you go wonder now, where next? Literally, where could we play next?